This is a Rock Entertainment Sports Network special presentation.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome here inside Rocket Arena. It is a historic landmark day because in conjunction with Bedrock and Rock Entertainment Group, we are going to be breaking ground on the newest COSM location. It is the 5th immersive sports and entertainment venue that will be located here in downtown Cleveland. We'll be joining Dallas, Los Angeles, Detroit, and Atlanta. We have a very special press conference that is going to begin in just about 1 minute, as you can hear behind me. We have some very special guests joining us here on set as well, and we'll also be hearing from some special guests during this press conference. It is going to be a very exciting morning here as we welcome you here once again inside Rocket Arena. I'm Katie Griffin, and I'm thrilled to be joining you. I'll be leading a conversation with some special guests coming up in just a little bit, but we also will head over to the press conference momentarily because, again, the groundbreaking of COSM is happening in just a moment, so we will head on over to the podium right now.
First up, introducing the mayor of Cleveland, Justin M. Bibb.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to Rocket Arena to celebrate this historic investment in our great city. And I'm just so excited about what Bedrock has done to help transform Cleveland, not just for now, but for the next generation. In just 4 years since we worked with our council president and city council to pass the shore to core to shore tax increment financing district, we're working to unlock nearly $4 to $5 billion of private and public sector capital to transform not just our waterfronts, but the urban core of Cleveland. And this investment speaks to that momentum and the sense of urgency that I admire and love from Bedrock and their support of our great city. And this is not just a big deal for Cleveland, but as Nick Barlage mentioned in his comments at the City Club several months ago, cities that embrace the experiential economy will be the cities that win globally over the next 10, 15, 20 plus years. So excited about this momentum, excited about the investment, and this is another testament of the Cleveland era leading the way. Congratulations all, and go Cavs, go Cavs.
Introducing the Cleveland City Council President, Blaine Griffin.
Well, good morning. Come on, this is an exciting day for Cleveland. Good morning, everyone. All right, first of all, on behalf of Cleveland City Council, thank you all so much for being here today. As the mayor said, this is a very exciting time for the city of Cleveland. To be able to have a transformational project like this in our community is huge. I just heard from the CEO of COSM that this is not only going to just be here, but it is actually going to be the biggest, most exciting, most innovative COSM that we have in the United States. And in Cleveland, where we have so many world-class institutions, where we have so many CEOs here today from like the Cleveland Clinic, Sherwin-Williams, as well as Cleveland Cliffs, and so many others, this is how we attract talent to our community, to attract young professionals that want to make Cleveland a destination. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't say how important it is that me and my colleagues who are here today, my majority leader, Jasmine Santana, if she would please stand, as well as Councilman Richard Starr, who's here as well. We as council joined together to pass that TIF district, as the mayor said, to make sure that we bring private and public investment to our community. And as you can see, we've seen a lot of plans for this area, but most of all, it's been a parking lot. We want to get rid of parking lots in the city downtown core district, and we want to have projects like this. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Cleveland City Council, thank you to the Rocket family, thank you to Nick Bartlett, and also Dan Gilbert, who is not here today, but they put their money where their mouth is at, and that's what we appreciate in the city of Cleveland. Thank you all so much.
Next up, introducing the President and CEO of COSM, Jeb Terry.
Well, like everyone else said, good morning. It is exciting day to be here in Cleveland. What a great room this is. Thanks for everybody coming out to hear what we have to say and celebrate this groundbreaking with us. This is our 5th venue, so one for the thumb for those that count championship rings. I got to tell you, walking around this downtown district, you just feel the energy of what's happening here in the city, in downtown, in and around these arenas. You see the investment taking place. And that's why we as COSM, it was an easy yes to say, yeah, we're going to come to the land. There was not a lot of doubt about it. When we think about our business, our success is really determined by our partnerships. It's who we work with. It's who we go and succeed with. It's who we overcome challenges with. That goes to our broadcast partners, our league partners, our tech partners, and also our development partners. And I can say Bedrock Rock Entertainment Group, the Gilbert family, are a fantastic partner. And that's where it all starts. It's the power of partnership. As a guy that was in the sports world for most of my career, all of my career, it's that teamwork, I think, that determines success. And it's that teamwork as those represented here in this room today that just exudes the confidence, the camaraderie, and all the things necessary to go out and win. And at COSM, that is our goal. We don't mince our words. We want to go out and win. We believe we have a category-defining generational business. And our goal is to deploy that technology and bring that experience to people around the world. And we're going city by city as we bring shared reality, as we call it, to life. And we wow, we surprise and delight fans. The biggest payoff is when a fan comes into our venue and they're literally just blown away. Every day when we develop our tech, when we do our rights deals, when we bring in the content into our venues, it's that just jaw-dropping awe that drives us. Not just once a day, not twice a day, nearly 4 events a day, as this will be the always-on heartbeat of downtown Cleveland. That's our promise to this city, to this district, is to come in. This is not going to be a cold, dark shell. Every day of the year, 4 events a day. The biggest and best live sports in the world. Over 425 live sports right here across the street from where we are. Whether it's the Premier League or Champions League, Super Bowls, NBA Finals, watching the Cavs raise another trophy, watching the W come online, watching the Guardians, watching the Browns, watching the biggest events from around the world right here across the street, live, like you're actually there. And that's the promise of what COSM is. When we were pitching this business years ago, people would look at us and say, Jeb, you are absolutely crazy. Pitching this thing on a PowerPoint deck on Zoom. All of us remember when that was the order of the day, right? And then now coming here and seeing our 5th venue, we're moving dirt. And as the mayor and as city councilman said, plans are just plans until someone puts their hand on the shovel, right? And what I'm thrilled about is there's a lot of hands on this shovel. In partnership with the city, in partnership with Bedrock, in partnership with the Cavs, the Gilbert family, the COSM team. It takes that team to win, and we're here to win. And I couldn't be more appreciative of the way the city has embraced us. Our promises to you, we're going to be authentic to COSM. We're going to also be authentic to the city. You're going to see it in the sights, the sounds, the tastes. I'm not from Cleveland, but I can promise you I'm going to learn a lot about Cleveland. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to lean on my partners to teach me about Cleveland and help me understand what it takes to be authentic so that the fans, the people of this city, everybody coming through comes in and just feels great when they spend time with us, when they spend time in our 4 walls, when they see our brand around the city. That's our promise. COSM worthy every single day, and we're absolutely thrilled to be here. So thank you all very, very much. It's a proud day for us.
Next up, the chairman of the board of COSM, Steve Wynn.
All right, thanks, Jeb, and good afternoon for this very special treat. Through our partnerships with the Gilbert family, Dan Gilbert and Grant, public officials from the city of Cleveland, and then the state, our partners at Bedrock, Rock Entertainment, Whiting Turner, and most important, the fabulous, avid fans in the city of Cleveland. We're here to celebrate the groundbreaking of our 5th venue in the heart of Cleveland. You've welcomed us, and now it's time for us to reciprocate. COSM will be bringing a whole new form of entertainment. You've never seen this before. You will be able to go live to 425 marquee sports events worldwide and see them right here across the street. You won't be just looking at the game, you will be in the game. You'll be on the 50-yard line, you'll be on the in the octagon. It's an experience you cannot possibly describe in words. You have to see it, and you will see it in 14 months, right, Nick? We are also activating entertainment from some of the most prestigious studios in the world. We've brought Matrix to life, not in a way where you look at the Matrix, but you are in the Matrix when you see this experience. Harry Potter will be opening in 3 weeks in LA, and you're going to be able to ride a broom yourself. We've got new Cirque du Soleil performances of O, where you're not watching O like you were in a theater. You're actually up on the platform as the performers dive into the water. You're below the water when they hit the water. It's an experience unlike anything you've ever seen before. Most important to me is the youth of our cities, in my opinion, have in some ways lost the spark of imagination that they got in museums and planetariums over the years. And that caused them to actually have that moment in their life where they changed their life in a profound way. COSM will bring that back with immersive technology that will capture the imagination and inspire our young children, and that's who will be coming here to see some of the greatest science, planetarium, and educational content that exists on the planet. So we're excited to be here. We're excited for the partnership that we have with everyone in Cleveland, and let's do it together, guys.
Introducing the CEO of Rock Entertainment Group, Nick Bardich.
All right. Well, I will say first, thank you to Steve and to Jeb. We had a great dinner last night, and part of that was Steve explaining how we're building a plane and flying it at the same time. Jeb is building it and flying it, and Steve is pouring the gasoline into it every single day to make this work. But before I jump in, I do want to just humbly welcome everybody here on behalf of Dan and Grant Gilberts and to our entire team at Rock Entertainment Group and Bedrock, our brothers and sisters across the family of companies. Today is one of those days that we'll look back on that we created change and we created impact. You know, as I think the council president said so well, when they started the Gateway District back in the early 90s, it was a bunch of parking lots. And they kind of forgot to address this parking lot. And so today we get the chance to address this parking lot. And I would agree with what Blaine said from the standpoint of we want to get rid of parking lots and we want to go vertical. And we want to create aspects and venues and assets that create impact for a long, long, long time. To get here today, it's been a 5-year journey. And we have to thank a lot of people that have helped us here. First, to our public officials, Mayor Bibb, City Council President Blaine Griffin, Ms. Santana, who's been a partner of ours in so many different ways, City Council Member Richard Starr, this is your district, this is your home, we appreciate that. And to our county, to Cuyahoga County partners that are here, Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne, I've seen everybody, Dale Miller is here, as well as countless other Cuyahoga County Council members. Thank you for your partnership. As we look at and our members that come to us from the State House. I saw Senator Serino earlier, as well as Senator Smith, Representative Sweeney, Representative Upchurch, Representative Patton, and Representative Brent. Thank you for your leadership in this great community. I do want to say this. And I'll say this again in a little bit. None of this happens without the vision, the creativity, the passion, and the care of our chairman, Dan Gilbert. Now, Dan may not be here today, but he is watching. And I will tell you that with anything with Dan, there is a relentless approach to creating outcomes for both Cleveland and Detroit that will live on for decades to come. When we started this, we found this wonderful asset in Salt Lake City 5 years ago, almost 5 years, it'll be 5 years ago this August. We were in basically an airplane hangar. It may have been a little bit more glorious than that. And we walked in, and the first thing we said was, wow. The second thing we said was, how do we get one of these to Cleveland? And how do we get one of these to Detroit? And through our partnership with Steve and Jeb, we've been able to deliver on both of those. Detroit will open at the end of this summer in 2026, and Cleveland will open and commence construction after groundbreaking today at the end of the summer in 2027. The significance of COSM is this. To all of those that live, work, and play here in Cleveland, COSM chose Cleveland. COSM chose Cleveland, and they're making a statement today to our community that we have a confidence, we have a vibrance, and we have a heartbeat. Cleveland is a magnificent city, powered by exceptional people. They're represented here, Lorenzo and Celso Gonçalves, Dr. Tom Mihalovich, Heidi Petz, and so many other business leaders that are partners with us. That partnership that they invest in us both in confidence, but also in resource and time, we plow right back into outcomes like this. And so we want to give a round of applause to the exceptional people here in Cleveland. I will say Jeb mentioned a lot of the uses you will see, as did Steve. You know, you'll be able to show up in the morning and watch an English Premier League game. We'll then transition the facility to be able to take in an afternoon matinee baseball game, or Browns kickoff on Sundays, whether it's 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, especially when they're on the road. You'll be able to transition and teleport yourself to the U.S. Open or to many different world-class sporting events right in the living room of COSM. The other part that I think is very important to know, and Steve mentioned this, is we'll be turning on and activating this platform to help educate the schools here in Cleveland and the surrounding areas. We'll also, it's the first time I've ever seen this, we have people tailgating for movies due to the experiential cinema dynamics that Steve mentioned, whether it's The Matrix or Harry Potter or other things. Cinema is back because of the way that COSM has breathed life into it. This is a different venue, this is a different moment, and Cleveland deserves this. As we look forward and we think about an experientially driven economy that will welcome 5 million people into this district by the end of this decade. Right now, as we sit here today, we're about 3.5 to 3.7 million people. COSM will be one of the largest contributors to that. But I think the best thing about it, as we look at our partners at Playhouse Square and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, COSM will complement everything that we do in this district and across all of downtown. It does not cannibalize, but it amplifies what we have going on and what we will continue to build. And when you think about and dream about a day where we bring over 5 million people from the shores of the riverfront at the Cleveland Clinic Global Peak Performance Center or our amphitheater that we just announced in partnership with Live Nation, COSM will complement all of those things. COSM will breathe life into this city, as the mayor talks about and wanting to create an 18-hour city. COSM is a venue that will create a 24-hour city. And now as we think about whether it's the casino or assets like COSM, we will allow for people to be able to live, work, and play with the best version of themselves right here in downtown Cleveland. In closing, not only does this mean jobs, does this mean economic impact, does this mean an increased tax basis, all things that are so important to us as we look to continue to grow and continue to aspire for new heights as a city. This, as I said in the beginning, is a statement. It's validation that we have the confidence and we have the assets, but most importantly, we have the people focused on dreaming about the outcomes that will drive our city forward for generations to come. We couldn't do any of this without Dan and the entire Gilbert family, with their vision and their commitment and their care, but we also couldn't do this without all of you. And so know this, COSM is Cleveland's. COSM is yours. Enjoy it, make the most of it. We deserve this. Cleveland, this is yours. Cleveland, this is for you. Thank you so much.
Nick, I didn't expect that to follow that one. That was a good one, man. Unbelievable. Look, the shared passion is something that we lean into a lot, and it's represented throughout the entire Bedrock organization and everything that they touch. And so that passion is something that continues to drive us. And to wrap all this up, at the end of the day, we're all fans of something, right? We're fans of sports, we're fans of cinema, we're fans of science, the arts, education. We're all fans. What we do at our company is to try to let you be your very best fan, to come into the things that you love and celebrate them in ways that you've never seen before. As we push shared reality and expand on what we're doing into the world, always know that when you come into COSM, you're going to be able to celebrate what you love. It's the best of the at-home and in-venue experience, amazing visuals, incredible hospitality, great food, drinks, and great energy. And you need to feel that when you come in. And that's what's going to happen across the street, and we couldn't be more excited about it. So I want to thank everybody for being here. It's a great day. We're going to go across the street, have some photo ops, dirt turns, all the groundbreaking things that we know and love. And we are thrilled to be here in Cleveland. So thank you.
All right, we are wrapping up the press conference now as some of those leaders will be heading across the street for the groundbreaking of COSM. As you just heard, what a huge development here in downtown Cleveland in partnership with Bedrock and Rock Entertainment Group. A lot to look forward to. This event space opening up mid-2027, the fifth of its kind here in the United States, joining Dallas, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Detroit. What an experience it'll be for all of those visiting downtown Cleveland and part of Rock Block here in downtown Cleveland. I am joined now by some special guests as we get set for the groundbreaking. I've got Mike Conley right here to my left. He's the Chief Information Officer and EVP as well as President of Rock Entertainment Sports Network. We've got Anthony Bonavita, who is EVP, Chief Revenues and Development Officer, as well as Dan Whalen, who is the Managing Director of Bedrock Cleveland. Guys, thank you so much. And what a historic landmark day it is here for Bedrock, for Rock Entertainment Group, and obviously downtown Cleveland as a whole. Anthony and Dan, I'll start with you. This is going to be a cornerstone of Rock Block and all of the new developments here in downtown Cleveland. So if you can kind of tell us what went into bringing COSM here, the fifth of its kind, to downtown Cleveland.
Thank you. We've been looking at that parking lot for all 16 years I've been here. And there was a lot of iterations, a lot of ideas. But the great thing about who we are is when we really lock in on something, we go for it and we make it a reality. And you know, there was a lot of times where we didn't know if it was going to go, but we stayed consistent. As Nick mentioned, we went to see this 5 years ago, so it's not a simple journey, but we are extremely excited to anchor the district with the COSM. And we are so bullish about what it's going to do to continue to bring vibrancy and people and economic impact to downtown Cleveland.
Well, I'll say this, I'm 2 months in now, so all the heavy lifting to get this deal done was long before I got here. But to see it all come together and to really echo everything that was said before, Cleveland gets passed over for a lot of different things, especially when it's new up-and-coming ideas that are needle movers. And so to get one of the first 5 in the country and the globe and see what the pipeline's going to look like for COSM hereafter, I think we really need to celebrate that, cherish it, and use it as a launch pad for what we do next.
Well, Dan, you can probably speak to this the most, but obviously Mike and Anthony, you can as well. The commitment from Dan Gilbert to continue to grow not only Detroit, but also downtown Cleveland. You've been a focal point in bringing some of those developments here. What can you say about how Dan and his team has continuously worked to not only update the riverfront here in Cleveland, but also the urban space and downtown landscape as well?
I think it cannot be overstated, right? It's not just a once-in-a-generational thing that we're talking about. It's a once-in-a-maybe forever thing. I can't think of another city, another family, another individual that has put that much focus and that much resource into doing what Dan and company have done both in Detroit and Cleveland. So to be able to be a part of it is a once in a not even a lifetime thing. We're talking multi-generational, and to invest the money specifically in the urban core, right? And yes, over time, expand out and do things across the region to benefit the community in a broader fashion. But right here in this like 1 mile radius that we're talking about, the opportunity and like the momentum is just really in the second, third inning.
Yeah, no question. Well, Mike, I'm going to ask you a little bit about the technology that fans can expect, people in Cleveland can expect when it comes to COSM, because again, it's the fifth of its kind. It's coming here to downtown Cleveland mid-2027, and it is a completely immersive experience. We heard Jeb Terry talking about it, and I think when you heard him talking about it, you kind of got a feel of like, oh, I don't really know what I'm going to expect until I actually experience it. So what can you tell us about the technology behind COSM?
Yeah, the best way to explain the technology, it has to be experienced to be understood. We're all used to going into movie theaters. We've been to, in some cases, iMovie domes that have the projector experience. But all those are based upon on-demand or pre-taped, movies that take you to a different place, a different space and time. This is a collection of very unique technology that starts at the venue in which the actual event is taking place. So COSM from a company has a variety of technology that layers into their experience, beginning to end across a wide spectrum of things. So their cameras are unique. The optics on the camera, the optics being the lenses of the camera, the way they pick up 180 degrees and are really able to tune that and deliver that to the 12K dome that the end users end up experiencing on the other end. And they do it all through a means of distribution. For people that are cord cutters or cord nevers that stream, your streaming experience is usually about 30 seconds behind what you're seeing in live action. COSM has proprietary technology on the backbone to deliver that in near real time. So Anthony and I and a couple folks here from REG that experienced the demo center that was in Provo, Utah that he was talking about, we were there watching the World Cup being streamed live from Qatar when we were having that experience, and it was 3 seconds behind live action. Think about that. You're all the way across the globe capturing this content and being able to deliver it back to a dome in Utah in 3 seconds time to have this truly immersive experience that is second to none. But what I love about it is it brings communities of people together to enjoy live sports. It gets people together. Like, we live in a society now where we're so used to being isolated with our devices, our phones and other things, that gatherings like this are really, really important to who we are as individuals. Technology aside, it's just a great community asset for us to be able to celebrate sports in a great sports town.
Jeb mentioned that there will be probably about 4 events a day, so I'm curious, maybe it might be a little bit too early to get into the weeds, but how does that get detailed out in terms of, will it be in conjunction with the Cavaliers, with teams in this city? What can fans expect when it comes to the events that they'll be able to go in and watch on a daily basis?
Yeah, from a programming perspective, the beauty of this, there is just a wealth of sports now worldwide that is being captured around the clock. And so we think about things really from the Eastern time zone, right? But when you go over to the EPL that is in Europe, 5-6 hours that's ahead of us, you can have those experiences in the morning. I think as Nick explained it, you might be able to watch an EPL game in the morning, come back at 4 o'clock for a Browns kickoff in the afternoon. On the back end of that, you'll be able to watch a nightcap of The Matrix in a fully immersive experience that that really just changes the theme and the persona of that venue for every event that comes in. Very similar to the way we try to do here at Rocket Arena by transforming this venue to be able to fit the event that's actually taking place. But it's going to appeal to a wide spectrum of sports fans, but also don't underestimate the value of the educational component that both the mayor spoke to and our city council lead as well, working with CMSD and being able to tell the kids about planetariums. I mean, COSM started at the ground level as a planetarium company. They're one of the largest in the world, and being able to evolve that technology to be able to solve the problems that's currently in place today is really unique. So just a full spectrum of experiences, and we're all really excited for it to kick off.
No question. Well, as we just saw, the groundbreaking has officially taken place here for COSM across the street. It is going to be just monumental here in downtown Cleveland. Anthony, I want to ask you about the significance of bringing COSM here to downtown Cleveland in partnership with not only Rocket Arena, but everything else that Dan Gilbert continues to invest here in the city.
People don't know how good a city this really is. And I'm a little arrogant because I come from New York City and I've been here 16 years, and everybody I bring here is absolutely amazed at the resources we have, the theaters, the sports, the culture, the museums, and they're just amazed at it. So why not Cleveland has really been our focus. Cleveland deserves this, as Nick said, and it's on the rise. I mean, it's a place that I truly believe, and I probably won't be here to see it decades from now, will just be one of the hottest cities in the country. I really, truly believe that.
Well, the continued investment continues to show that as it continues to grow here in downtown Cleveland. Dan, obviously this is just part of so many investments. The Global Peak Performance Center well on its way down on the riverfront as well. What has it been like for you to be part of this with Bedrock here in Cleveland and continuing to watch all these projects come together and come to life?
Yeah, well, watching it from outside looking in for quite a while now has been exciting, but now to be embedded in it and be helping to lead it and shepherd it forward, the investment and the reinvestment, I think, is important to note too, right? Nothing's sitting dormant. Even the things that we own and that are our assets locally, they get continued reinvestment and caretake, to them. So I think it's really important to note that we're in the early, innings, or I guess we'd say the first quarter of the game here. In terms of what the riverfront could look like, in terms of what the rest of Rock Block can look like. And so I think it's really, really key to have catalytic, city-changing elements like GPPC, obviously our partnerships with the clinic, COSM, our partnership with them, with the amphitheater, with our partnership with Live Nation. So you'll notice, there's constantly, it takes an army to get things done, and having really collaborative, really exciting global groups that want to be here with us doing what we're doing. I think that sends a pretty big message.
No question. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, so I want to just get some final thoughts from each of you about COSM, what it means to this city, and what you're looking forward to as this development comes together. Mike, I'll start with you.
Yeah, we've spent many years and many decades here where there were no cranes that were up in downtown Cleveland, right? The urban core finally reinventing itself and finding people with a passion to invest in Cleveland is incredibly excited. And I want to double down on the statement of our chairman, Dan Gilbert. You can put your investments in the West Coast, East Coast, and a lot of these other major cities. He's chosen to double down in the Midwest, in the Rust Belt, where it's going to make the biggest possible difference. So I know you've seen some drone shots here throughout the course of the event today, but GPPC, the amphitheater down by the river, now you've got COSM across the street, the greatly transformed Rocket Arena that we have here, and there's many more opportunities and projects to come that are trailing behind, but this is action. This is action and outcomes as opposed to a lot of hyperbole and talk. This is putting shovels in the ground and actually making a difference in the urban core.
I said this last night at our dinner. I'm most proud, and I hope for long times to come, people are proud of how we continue to invest in downtown Cleveland. I think Dan said, it's amazing. I've been amazed for 16 years at how Dan just continues to find ways to reinvigorate our city. And I'll also echo Dan and say he's a big believer in you do well by doing good. And I think we truly are doing good, and I'm really proud of that.
We got so much exciting stuff going on, and obviously it's all anchored right here at the mothership too, right? And there's a lot going on here, especially starting this week and Saturday. Yeah. And I think by the time you come next fall when COSM is in full swing, to be able to see Cavs away games and be sitting like you're courtside in this giant immersive multiple 100-foot screen is going to be one of a kind. So I think it's not only an exciting time for what we're building, but where we're at right now in this season and where we're tracking to, and hopefully we have a really exciting playoff run that we're on the cusp of as well. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Saturday it all starts back here at Rocket Arena. Of course, the Cavaliers tipping off against the Toronto Raptors. Mike, Anthony, Dan, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much. Again, a historic landmark day here in downtown Cleveland with the groundbreaking of COSM, the 5th of its kind, opening up here mid-2027. A lot to look forward to. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.